I'm Mike Cornette for WUSF 89.7's All Night Jazz, and joining me here via Zoom today, singer Ona Kirei, who's got a show that we're listening to right now on Side Door at the Palladium. That's her Iberian project, and she's also got an upcoming show on November the 13th. Again, this is going to be at the Palladium, and you know they're doing the whole social distancing thing there, so it's an upstairs show. It should be really nice, and this is going to be about the Beatles. We'll talk about that too, but I want to welcome Ona Kirei to our little chat here. And how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see anybody these days, right? So
right. It is. Even though it's virtually, it's nice to see you too.
Thank you. So you're from Spain originally, from Barcelona and in Catalan, and so lots of things going on in Europe these days. And I just wanted to get your quick take on how it feels to be here in the United States and not being able to go home, and all the people that you may or may not know there, and how's it going as far as you know?
It's really tough.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm very, very happy to be here in the US. That's the decision I made, right? And
right.
But it's tough now not to be able to go home for Christmas. I have been here for 3 years and a half, and every Christmas, my husband Palbo Arencibia and I we went there, and this is going to be the first year that we are going to stay here for Christmas. So it's going to be hard, but this too shall pass.
Yes. Yes, this too shall pass. So we wanted to talk to you. We were chatting just before we started recording about how you view your role in the band. So there are a lot of singers who I want to be out front. They want to be the focus of everything, but you consider yourself to be more of a musician in the band. And so you want your voice to be kind of at a par with the rest of the band. So tell us about that whole philosophy and why you came to feel that way.
Yeah, I love that you give me the opportunity to talk about that, because that's really something very important to me. The way I like to sing and the way I like to compose is to be one more part of the band, right? I like to blend with the band, and I like to be one more instrument, although I have the advantage, now I understand it's an advantage, that I also can use lyrics, I also can use poetry to reinforce the music message. But the way I play with the sound is trying to be one more instrument. And I guess that's because my first love was piano. Even though I'm not a piano player, my first love was piano. And I have always listened to a lot of instrumental music. And what I really wanted to do was that. So, yeah.
So, and your favorite pianist was Chopin, right?
He was my favorite composer. He was one of my favorite composers. Yeah.
And so do you still listen to a lot of classical, or are you listening to more jazz these days, or what do you listen to mostly?
Oof, I listen to a lot of music. I am a lot into the new jazz singers. I'm a lot into Gretchen Parlato, into Esperanza Spalding, which play also the same game. They play that role of being one more instrument inside the band. I love that kind of modern jazz. I listen to a lot of classical music as well. Chopin is something I always go back to. I listened a lot to Federico Mompou. He was a Catalan composer as well. Lately, I have been a lot into that as well. And I listen as well to other types of music.
What, pray tell? What other forms of music do you listen to?
I am a lot into Hiatus Coyote. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing it. I really don't know how to classify that music. Hiatus Coyote, do you know him? Do you know him?
No, I don't.
It's like some sort of fusion between jazz and R&B and soul. They are their own thing. They are really weird, but I love what they do. Yeah. And obviously the Beatles.
And the Beatles. I was going to get to that one next, because what's coming up on November the 13th at this Palladium is going to be your tribute to the Beatles, and it's going to be a great band. It's going to be your husband, Palbo Arencibia, as well as Dominic Walker on guitar, Jean-Bel Duc on drums, and Alejandro Arenas on bass. And I've heard you perform some Beatles tunes in our studio before, which were pretty fabulous. I really like what you guys do. I think we had Dominic and you in the studio once, and you did Norwegian Wood, which was just stunning. So which period of the Beatles are we going to hear the most of in your show on the 13th?
You're gonna hear a combination. You are not,
Okay.
yeah, you're gonna hear a little bit of everything. Mhm.
Do you
Yeah,
have a favorite song? Or are they all like too close, you can't pick one?
It's hard to pick one. Okay, I'm gonna try. Can I pick two?
Sure.
Okay. If I would pick two, I would say one of them is definitely Across the Universe.
Nice song.
Yes, yes, it's beautiful, and you know, it's very funny. The meaning behind the song. When I first listened to the song, I always loved how poetic the lyrics were, and then I realized that I read somewhere that it was actually he was actually talking about her wife, her first wife, John Lennon, when he was she was talking to him on the bed, and she was talking and talking and talking, and he would be thinking, oh my gosh, she just will not stop talking. Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. And that was how the song was born. But I prefer to stay with what the lyrics mean for me, you know, than with that. So that's one. And the other one might be Strawberry Fields. And it's funny because this one, we are not playing it in the concert.
Why not?
But now that I'm saying it, I have to arrange it for the next one.
You still have a week. You can get it done. It could happen.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to think about it. I will talk to them. Let's see what he thinks about last minute arrangements.
So what we're hearing tonight on our Side Door at the Palladium show, though, is your Iberian project. And so the Iberian Peninsula in Spain, I mean, that's Spain, Portugal, and Andorra. And there's a variety of different musical cultures, Basque, Catalan, others. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite?
Yes.
Oh,
of all the musical idioms that are out of the Iberian Peninsula, is there a specific one that you like more than others?
That's a hard question. I can't decide one. My heart is so divided. You know, I am Catalan. My family is from the Basque Country. Also, we have a lot of influence, obviously, from the South, because flamenco is popular everywhere around the world. And when I was a kid, I was in love with Celtic music. And I was just in love. And I wanted to be Galician or Irish so bad. I just couldn't, you know, because... So I can choose. I can choose every language. You know, every music language is so different from each other. You have the odd matters on the Basque Country, which I found super interesting, and that's trend. But it's also close to Celtic music. It has a lot of influence, all the music from the north. Then also the Galician. Dominic said once when I sent him some Galician music to him, saying, "You see, we have Celtic music in Spain." He was like, "Huh, this is like Irish Celtic, but more passionate." So it's something like that. In Catalonia, we have a lot of influence from the classical song. I don't know. I couldn't choose. Just every type of music have their own magic.
So what do you remember about this particular show, the Iberian Project at the Palladium? What's your most distinct memory from the show?
Everything. It was a beautiful night, and the audience was so warm. You know, there's always a concern of is the audience going to connect with what I'm doing, right? Because it's not something obvious. It's like most people, when I talk about the Iberian Peninsula or when I talk about Spain, they will think of flamenco. So I knew that I was presenting something different, and I was exposing a lot of things that people don't know from the Iberian Peninsula. So I was like, will they like it? And will they connect with this? Will they be moved by this music? And they were. And that feeling of warmth, it was really beautiful.
And so coming up on the 13th, you're going to be back at the Palladium again with this band that we briefly talked about. It's what they're doing at the Palladium now, for those of you who may not be aware, is they were taking shows that would originally have been in the Side Door, which is the smaller room, which seats about 180 people. and they're moving them upstairs to Huff Hall, which seats about 800 people, so everybody can be socially distanced. I haven't been to a show yet, so I'm anxious to go to this show and see how it all works out. But do you have a feeling that it's going to, how much different do you think that's going to be, being on the big stage and not having the audience be so close and intimate? Is that going to affect how you perform, do you think?
I was afraid about that, but last week I presented my personal project with my compositions at the Firehouse, and they were having that kind of setup. They were being they did such a great job with social distancing. They were checking temperature to everybody. People were spread out, and I was afraid that it was going to be cold, but it was really nice. I think that we are also looking forward to be there and to see each other's faces and to play for an audience, and the audiences as well are really looking forward to, to go out there and listen to live music. That I think it's going to be awesome.
Super. We're talking with Ona Kirei. Now, we've got our Side Door at the Palladium show, which is running on November the 6th, and then on November the 13th, also Friday, both Fridays. She's going to be over at the Palladium, 8 o'clock showtime, with her tribute to the Beatles. Our own Dominic Walker, who's one of our announcers, going to be on guitar for that, as well as Palbo Arencibia, Alejandro Arenas, and Jean Belduc. I hope you can get out and see that. And meanwhile, also we'll be running this on social media prior to our broadcast of your Iberian project, also recorded at the Palladium, but about a year ago. And that's going to be coming up on the 10 o'clock on the 6th. And Ona, I want to thank you so much for chatting with us here on All Night Jazz, and looking forward to the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks. Bye now.